Your attention, please. And now, on with the show.
Live from Paradise Studios in New York, Strong Island Television presents Under the Radar, starring Randy Unger. Brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Tonight, Randy will be interviewing media personality and best-selling author Cathlene Miner. Randy will also be reviewing the new films Queen and Slim and Knives Out with special guest critics C.J. Oakland, Matt Roran, and Forrest Bennett. And now, here's your host, Randy Unger.
Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is another edition of Under the Radar, where we talk all things film. And right now, through Skype, I have media personality and best-selling author Cathlene Miner. Hey Cathlene, how's it going?
I am great. How are you today?
I'm good. It's a little rainy outside, so it's a good thing you're calling through Skype.
Yeah, I was wondering, how's the weather where you are?
Not great. We're here in New York. Where are you?
I'm in Florida.
Okay, it's not raining there?
No, it's not raining. We're supposed to have a cool front come in tonight, but today was 80.
Okay.
So, but the wind's blowing.
Okay.
So that means our cool front's coming in. Really, we get really excited about this because it starts to feel a little bit like the holidays, when the temperature gets to be 70 or 65 during the day.
Okay.
So I'm pretty excited about this.
Have you ever been a weather person yourself? Because you sound pretty good giving the weather.
No, but I probably could.
Yeah.
Because I get really excited about the weather.
Cool.
I do.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. This is great. I know that you have a new book out. It's the 30-Day Self-Perception Makeover Teen Edition.
Yes.
Tell everyone about the book and how it came to be.
Okay. So I had the original book called The 30-Day Self-Perception Makeover, and that's basically for anybody. Mm-hmm. And, the stem, where it stemmed for me, as far as knowing that I had an unhealthy self-perception and allowing my life to be dictated by that, was in my teen years. Mm. So I knew all along that I was going to make a teen book, but it was after I had my own children. So I have 4 children. Okay. And my oldest one is 27, 25, 15 and 14. And so after going through those teen years with my older ones, I knew, okay, there's something really to this self-perception thing. It's not just me. And so that's how the teen book evolved. So over all these years of not only my experiences, but my experience with clients and my own children, allowed me to go and do this book. Now, what I did was I have 9 teens that helped me with this book, and I also have a teen co-author. Okay. And she is a senior this year in high school, and she's absolutely awesome. But I'm telling you this because obviously a lot has changed since I was a teen. Okay. A lot has changed since my older children were teens, and my other younger 2 are in it now. But I needed to know what's going on now, because the things that are influencing teens these days is totally different than it was even 10 years ago or 20 or 30 years ago. Okay. So it's really a good insight on what's going on now in teens' lives and how they can deal with not only social media, because social media is going to be there no matter what. So we kind of have to know how to react to it and what to do with it. But a healthy self-perception will dictate everything in your life. It dictates the chances you take, the choices you make, the relationships that you stay in professionally and personally, and the ones that you leave because you know that you're not happy and you're better than that. And if you can have a healthy self-perception and it can start at a younger age, it just helps you to follow your intuition. It helps you to just recognize when those things don't feel right.
So this is more about emotional and a mental perception. It's really not as much physical. It's more about the mental.
Yeah, it starts that way, but it actually is a physical thing as well, because your self-perception is what you think and feel about you, not what anybody else thinks and feels about you. And people, if you really think about it, how often do you pay attention to how you really think and feel about you? Yeah. So it leads to the outside. So yes, is it mental? it does start that way, absolutely. But it's those things by repetition and doing it every day. So a lot of people will maybe read 700, self-help books, and they wonder why they don't change. Well, you're not going to get this stuff through osmosis, right?
Right.
So by doing something like this, where we have you do something every single day, also I have a course as well, it just reiterates it. Okay. Instead of just going to a conference and waiting for your aha moment. Now that helps as well. I'm not saying that's the wrong thing to do, but these are things that you do have to put into play every single day. And it's really fun because once you do, you start to see so many changes around you that you keep it up and it becomes a lifestyle. Okay. So creating your life on purpose, I always like to say manifesting your life on purpose, whatever you want to call it. It's something that you do every day. So why not do it on purpose? And it all starts with your self-perception.
Okay. Now, how much time was between the first book and this book? How much time did?
About a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was
Although I say that, but it was many, many years in the making. Okay. I started working on not only my own self-perception, but I had clients. I was a personal trainer besides my full-time job that I had and my 2 part-time jobs. When I was younger, I was a personal trainer, and I started that when I was 20. And I started to train my clients not only on the way they looked on the outside, but the way they felt on the inside. So, this is like 27 years in the making, which is hard to believe because sometimes I forget how old I am. I don't know how you are, but, people be like,
that could be a good thing.
Yeah, I always forget, but, I'll be 48.
Okay.
And
great.
Yeah, it's been a long time in the making, but, been lots of ebbs and flows in my life, and I've learned from each and every one of them. And I love that I can actually put it together into a program that really works.
Okay. Awesome. So aside from being a best-selling author, I know you're a media personality as well. Can you talk a little bit about your career, your achievements in that field?
Yeah, so not only I host some different TV shows, but I also have my own radio show, and it's called Manifesting Magic in Your Everyday Life. And I love radio, I love TV, I love podcasts, and I'm so just honored that you're interviewing me talking to me. I don't even consider this an interview. It's just kind of just like, what do you do? What do I do? Let's share with everybody. So after being I have had many jobs in my life, and probably the hardest one that I personally had was being a stay-at-home mom of 4.
Right.
And that was really tough because, when you leave making your own money, even if it's not that much at the time, because I was a single mom of 2 for a while, when you give that up, you kind of get to that feeling of, oh gosh, what am I doing? Like, what am I even doing? Because so much is attached to things like that. So by being in that position as well, it helped me to kind of sit back and realize, what things I'm really good at and what things I love that light me up. And so that's when I started just getting into these other areas of business. And I also have a nonprofit. Okay. And that keeps me really busy as well. So all of these things have just evolved into where I am right now. I absolutely, like I said, I love radio. I love to help people, really. That's kind of the base of everything for me.
That's awesome. And we'd love to have you come to the studio sometime to maybe do like a little co-hosting thing.
I would absolutely love that. You're in Long Island?
Yes, we are.
Right?
Massapequa.
Yeah, so I know I have some family up there somewhere.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you a movie buff at all?
Originally, so.
Okay. Are you a movie buff at all?
I don't know if I call myself a movie buff. Right. I do like Christmas movies.
Okay. What's at the top of your Christmas movie list?
Oh my gosh, anything that is probably pretty sappy to most people, or the traditional. let's just say Hallmark movies. I like.
Yeah.
Them.
Okay. That's fine.
I have watched. I don't think I've ever not seen one.
Oh, really? You've seen the whole catalog?
I don't see them live, but I do watch them. I think Christmas for me, and I know it's not for everybody. I get it. Christmas isn't a great time for everybody, but for me and memories for me is always great. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why I like Christmas movies the most. It always just reminds me of just always amazing times.
Sweet. Are there any other projects or things that are going on in your life that you want to talk about? Anything you want to plug?
Well, I would like to tell you about my nonprofit and just kind of tell you a little bit of background about it. So, It's called Hopeful Handbags, and it's just so much more than handbags. What we do is we take once loved handbags that women donate, not ones that they're getting rid of because there's something wrong with them. It's just they know they can get other ones, and we donate them with necessities and things to make women feel amazing, and we donate them to women getting back on their feet again due to domestic violence and other detrimental situations. And also we raise awareness that domestic violence is not okay and that it affects the children, and also to allow everyone to realize that if you're in a situation like that, there is help all over that is free. I mean, everything from places to stay to counseling. You can have help in the court. I mean, there's so much out there for people to get out of these situations. So for me, my mother grew up in a household that was like this, and you can go to hopefulhandbags.org and read, on the blog a little bit more about that. But this is the reason why I'm so passionate about it. I always wondered why my grandmother would stay in a relationship like that, because I knew it wasn't normal, because my life wasn't like that. My parents are amazing. They actually changed the whole pattern, right?
Yeah.
So just knowing that, I think if she would have known, and I know this was years ago and they didn't have all these things available, but if there was something like this where she could have gone, it wouldn't have been like it was. So that's my passion behind this. We are now in 7 different states in the United States. We have now opened up in Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago. We're working on the United Kingdom and Canada. But if anybody would like to start this in their area, just let me know. I mean, it's pretty easy to set up, and people love to donate to other people. So the way I look at this is, the people that are even donating, it's helping them, right? It's opening up their flow. It's allowing them to feel like they're giving back and they're helping other people.
Right.
So it's just a win-win all around. So yeah, I just want to talk about Hopeful Handbags. It's something that's really close to my heart, and it's something that I work on. It keeps us busy. I mean, even the corporate headquarters is here where I'm located in St. Augustine, Florida, and we average giving out between 50 and 60 handbags a month, and that's just in this area, filled handbags.
Okay.
And the towns that have, bigger populations obviously have a bigger need. And what we're doing, the reason for the handbags is to raise hope. So it gets them excited. They look in these bags, they're so excited. They realize people care. And most of the women that are in this situation have not had somebody care about that or at least they don't feel like it. I'm not saying that they don't have people, but they don't feel like they do. I do have to mention one other thing, though.
Sure.
There are men that are in domestic violence relationships and they are the survivor. Instead of victim, we like to say survivor.
Right.
And I'd like to remind everybody that if that is a situation, these domestic violence shelters, even though statistically it's women and that's who's there, the men can receive all of the services that the women can. They may not stay at the shelter, but they'll put them up in a hotel room and things like that.
Oh, wow, good to know. So it goes for male and female. That's pretty,
correct.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you want to plug before we say goodbye?
Oh gosh, just check out KathleenMiner.com. You can sign up for the newsletter, Manifesting Magic in Your Everyday Life, because we all create our life on purpose every single day. And I hope the weather there, a little snow around the holidays. Isn't it nice though? I mean, you say it's raining, but does that mean it's going to snow too?
There is slush outside, so it's not pleasant.
Slush?
Yeah, there's some slush out there.
But is it wet? Is it white? Like, does it look?
No, it's like a silvery, slushy mess out there.
Okay, but okay, silvery to me I think of sparkle.
Okay.
Cool. I'm on that.
All right, and that's your perception, and that's mine now.
That's my perception, and it makes me happy.
Cool. All right, Kathleen. Well, again, we'd love to have you at the studio sometime, and thank you so much again for taking the time today.
Thanks so much for having me. I look forward to talking to you soon.
Definitely. All right. Be well and happy holidays.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, guys, we're going to take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with our film review segment right after this.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
And we're back. Hey guys, Under the Radar. I'm your host Randy Unger, and we have with us a lovely panel of critics here who are kind of like floating right now. See if we're all in the shot. That's good. That's good. Now we usually have 2, but I thought today we could spice it up with 3. And guys, we have 2 films to really get into. Technically 3, but the first 2 are the first one rather. Queen and Slim, and basically this is the urban, they call it an urban take on Bonnie and Clyde, and basically this young couple, this woman an attorney on the left played by, what's her name, Jodie Smith-Turner, if I'm not mistaken?
Jodie Smith-Turner.
It is Jodie Smith-Turner. And Daniel Kaluuya on the right. Basically they go out for a harmless first date at a diner, and then they're on the way home, they get stopped, their car gets stopped by a very aggressive white patrolman, and things kind of get out of the hand, and Daniel Kaluuya accidentally shoots and kills. This is not spoiler. This is all in the trailer, by the way.
Yeah.
So
this is the trailer.
This is the trailer, and basically after they shoot the cop, they go on the run, which is ridiculous. But you know, I'm not a lawyer or anything, but yeah.
Well, if you were, you might be the one suggesting that you go on the run.
Yeah, well, it's ridiculous. Basically, they spend about 24 hours evading the police. They meet up with
her uncle.
New
Orleans.
Who played by Bokeem Woodbine from The Rock, actually, and other things. But he's always been a B actor, really. Yeah. But he had a really good role in this, sort of like a pimp.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's basically aiding and abetting them. And now this is kind of spoilery, but yeah.
I think that's all in the trailer.
Yeah, that's all.
You don't have to go into it too much.
Okay. Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was really, really well acted. I thought the story was, believable. I'm sure this has happened many times. And yeah, I give this. I'm a fan of this movie. Let's just leave it at that. Forrest, what did you think, sir?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I did think that if you're, it was a little odd that because given that she's a lawyer, and she had suggested that they make a run for it,
right.
But after a while, I still found myself getting invested in the characters, and then wondering. Are they going to? Where's this going to go?
You're rooting for them in the end.
I'm kind of rooting for. I'm rooting for them. But at the same time, it's like because if you've seen Bonnie and Clyde or similar movies or like Natural Born Killers, you kind of know how this might end, how this ends.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But unlike those films, those films are about people who intentionally kill people.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like an accidental murder.
It's self-defense.
And I mean, at first, I was like, well, she's a lawyer. Like, why is she? But then you're like, oh, because she's, gone up against cases like this where she knows the only way out is not through the justice system.
Right. It's a little hypocritical, I guess.
Right.
Well, I think it's more like knowing how many people have died in police custody who didn't murder a cop.
Yeah.
And suspicious circumstances, and the police were acquitted of it.
Right.
That's one of those things where. It seems like a very impulsive thing, but it's also, if you were someone who lived in that kind of circumstances, I can never speak to being a black person who's accidentally murdered a cop, but feeling like there's absolutely no way we won't be killed for this. Seems like a rational thing.
I kind of looked around a little, and I couldn't see any...
Or no, there's not going to be a happy ending for this.
It's not based on a true story, but I guess it's kind of inspired by...
Inspired by real life events.
Yeah. So I mean, it was well acted. I think it was kind of all over the place in some parts.
And there were some weird edits. Like they would start talking, but then all of a sudden it would go into internal dialogue.
Where it would look like the film was out of sync, but it was like, oh, okay, like their mouths aren't moving because now they're thinking it.
No.
But it doesn't there's no way of preemptively knowing that it's changing. It just did, and you're like, what?
Yeah. And also that the dialogue, the flashbacks and stuff. What's the inner monologues? That we have that a little bit in the third film, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
I love Daniel Kaluuya. He got an Oscar nomination for Get Out.
Everything
he was excellent.
He's made a couple movies since Get Out now, and this is a very strong performance.
Very strong, and I think as far as the fact that this was a directorial debut.
From Melina Matsoukas,
who directed just music videos and I think a couple episodes.
I think
of TV.
television too.
Yeah, some TV. But for a feature film directorial debut, I thought it was pulled off really well.
Yeah, she did
You
a
don't
good
really
job.
see a lot of debuts this strong.
And Lena Waithe, she
was the
wrote
writer.
this as
She
well.
wrote, yeah.
A
I
decent
think
job.
The
from her.
writing on this film was really well done. Like,
Yeah.
I love the fact that I think it's a little like inaccurate to say this is like a modern day Bonnie and Clyde because
Yeah.
I think it does it a disservice.
This really is
No.
a movie
Yeah.
where
It's
they're
kind of vague.
It's dumbing
General-
it down.
Yeah.
The movie
Yeah.
shows these are two inherently good people just
Yeah.
stuck
They
in
just
a
had one
world
bad
in a
day.
situation that's completely against
Wrong
them.
place at the wrong time.
Yep.
Yeah.
That should have been the title, actually, instead
Yeah,
of Queen
right.
and Slim.
Just one bad day. It was just one bad day.
Another good title.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
All of them on the run
the-
for a few days.
Yeah,
the
it
movie's
felt like
really
a day.
well done in an emotional sense. Like
Yeah.
this is one of the hardest hitting emotional movies I saw this
Yeah.
year. Where like there's only a few instances where violence like breaks out, but like every time someone pulls a gun, like you hear the audience gasp. It goes dead quiet, and
Yeah.
I like my heart sees up, and I'm wondering like what is going to happen.
Yeah.
And no
Yeah,
matter
yeah.
what it is, like if someone shoots or if they don't shoot, like either way, it's still going to be devastating to see the
And
effects
speaking
of
of
it.
shocks, at the ending, I'm just gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's also one thing I really liked about this film is it didn't. I didn't think it seemed like heavy-handed towards one side. You know, they show you cops that are good in this movie as
Right,
well.
right,
Yes.
right.
They, you know, white people who are good, black people who are good. You know, like it's
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
no like
There's no heroes or villains.
there's no heroes or villains. It's
And that's
like
actually one. That's actually
the
one of
movie
my.
goes out his way to show
Yeah.
like everyone's a person. Like even the cop in the trailer who like pulls them over and absolutely breaks every kind of protocol a cop should follow
Yeah.
and how aggressive he is and causes the situation to happen. Like when he goes to his car, they show like a picture of his family and they show this is a person, but he is a bad person.
yeah.
But I'll tell you this racial political message that they hammer down our throat, like it's just a little much. I mean, that's my one criticism.
I didn't think it was.
This
too
I
bad
didn't think
at
they
all.
hammered it down.
I think it was a
actually
little too
was expecting
much.
it
Yeah.
and didn't. I don't think it
I
delivered.
think it was a little too intense. And
I never.
That was kind of a turn off.
I never felt like I was being talked down to or like saying like this is the message of the film. It felt like this is something I cannot relate to at all.
Right.
Being a black person in America, and this felt like black people wanting to tell a story of this is what it's like from our perspective.
Right.
And that's how we got it. I never got
Yeah.
that it was heavy-handed.
I really
And-
think it was
and,
heavy-handed.
You know, it's like I love Spike Lee movies, but it's nice to have that without walking away feeling like, okay, every white person in this movie's terrible.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just like there are lots of like, you know, it's. I just thought it was like
I don't know.
not like shoved on you. It was kinda neat.
I disagree, sir. I think it was definitely heavy-handed, and that was it was really.
I don't know. To me, it seemed like a fair thing because I just remember a few years ago when there was a situation where that person shot a few cops down in Texas, and that was a heavy emotional day for a lot of people. But
Yeah.
I remember going to work, and one of my coworkers, who's a black person, was saying like, "I wish stuff like this would happen more often to the cops." And as I talked to him, because I'm like, "That's a very shocking thing to hear."
Yeah.
But as I talked to him, I realized he doesn't actually want any cops dead. He's just being emotional because he's telling me how he gets pulled over 3-4 times a week for doing nothing.
Yeah.
How everywhere he goes, he feels like the cops watching him, and it's like this is a situation I have no connection.
So
to.
you guys think that we need this movie?
I do.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
I think it's good to have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
It's rare we get one that isn't so heavy-handed. Because it's like, I mean, it's
So you
like
think that works in its favor?
I think it works in its favor.
And especially one that's so nuanced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because it's a beautiful film.
Yeah.
It's not overbearing in my opinion. So I think you know the message is clear.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like how Get Out. Like I felt like I mean Get Out is more heavy-handed.
I think that was done more tasteful.
I mean, it's tasteful, but
Yeah.
it is like, you know, pretty heavy-handed. But it's like it's still like its message is like, you know, I just think it's like it's up there with that where it's like it's everyone should see it.
I think I'm curious to see what Spike Lee would think about this movie.
Yeah,
He'd probably love it.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So guys, see it, skip it,
See it.
See it.
Yeah,
I definitely say see it. It's
yeah,
up there.
definitely.
It might be one of my top 5 for the year. Like
Yeah.
I really enjoyed how well
top
done
5.
Yeah, like
All
I've never
right.
had a movie where like it hit me so much of like
Yeah.
seeing how violence is shown, but in a very nuanced way, where
Yeah.
Okay.
no one was evil, no one was meant to be portrayed as a terrible person. It seemed like any time a gun was shot, you felt that the people who were doing it thought it was a mistake, even though
Right.
it was happening.
Yeah,
Well, that-
and that's something you never see in a movie. I've
The
never
initial
seen
cop was
film.
pretty much a dick.
Right.
We know
And
that.
I mean, he goes through this movie like he shot a cop. He's not proud of it.
Yeah.
He's going through this movie, and people are telling him he should be proud of it, but he's not.
Yeah.
And just the idea of like people taking your actions and putting political things to it and like making a movement around it seemed like something Joker was kind of trying to do.
Right.
But I think it did this better than Joker.
Yeah, exactly.
You like this better than Joker?
I felt like it did that whole. It turned one act of one incident, one incident of violence
one
into
spark,
and then seeing how it goes on both sides. Like social media of how everyone says that like either they're monsters or they think they're heroes, but you see the truth is that they're neither. They're just people.
Yeah, right.
And that was very.
But I think as far as one moment sparking a movement, I think this definitely portrayed it, executed it much better than Joker.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's an interesting take as well. All right. Well, I say see it as well, but it's a little intense, and the message is very strong. So just go in knowing that, and you won't be too shocked. All right, guys. So we're gonna take another commercial break, but we'll be back with 2 more film reviews right after this.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
Hey guys, welcome back to Under the Radar. I'm your host, Rainey Younger. And our second film of the evening is a little more comedic, a little more, I guess, I don't know if silly is the right word.
Fun.
It is fun. And it's Knives Out, and it's a new ensemble cast. And basically, I wouldn't call it a remake of Clue, but it is definitely a murder mystery.
They actually do acknowledge, funny enough, they do acknowledge Clue in the movie.
Did they really?
One of the detectives mentions that Christopher Plummer's character lives in a Clue house.
Oh, I didn't catch that, but there you go. And Christopher Plummer, not in that photo because he's actually Mr. Body. He gets killed over mysterious circumstances, and basically the family comes to get interrogated by Daniel Craig, who plays this kind of a
private investigator.
He's a private eye, but he's
a gentleman detective.
He's but his background's very mysterious, and also his family is there to hear the reading of the will, and craziness ensues. Chris Evans, what do you got? You've got Jamie Lee Curtis, Lakeith Stanfield, Toni Collette, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson, and of course Christopher Plummer.
Yep. Also Christopher Plummer, and also Jaden Martell.
Okay.
From the It movies.
And that kid from the It movies again.
No, it's Jaden Lieberher. Lieberher.
Yeah.
See? Are you sure? I think it was. I could have sworn it was Jaden Martell.
So did I.
He's Jaden.
Oh, like that kid. Yeah.
Like that kid from It.
That kid from It.
Yeah.
Who was in a movie me and Forrest were here
Right.
last time.
Which one was that? He's a young and upcoming star. Anyway, guys, it's a fun movie, like you said. It's well acted. It's got great writing, and it takes place in a lovely house. So that's the only setting we have, really.
Apart from some small town.
Yeah, and there's some like car scenes too, and basically, it's a fun mystery, and you're always kind of on your toes, kind of guessing who is the killer.
Yeah, it's a good it's literally just a whodunit. Like that's what it's meant to be.
We don't get those
enough. We never see
especially
them.
pulled off well. Like they did the Murder of the Orient Express film recently, which I did not see.
Was that Johnny Depp? Yeah, I kind of avoided that one.
Avoided it.
It was good, but it was because Johnny Depp was only in a little bit. He's the victim who gets killed.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was an okay film, but it felt like some of the cinematography was good, but the story never really got going. It wasn't as strong as they presented it.
You're talking about Knives Out or Murder?
No, I'm saying Murder on the Orient Express.
Okay.
This movie was really well done. It was a campy thriller, but it's like the comedy worked, the drama worked. it worked in its favor.
Also, it seemed very self-aware. When the detective mentions that they live in the Clue house.
Yeah. And it's one of those things. It's like in an ensemble film, like especially with like such a big, great cast.
Yeah.
It so very rarely hits. This movie hit, and everyone was great. Everyone had their role. Don John, I mean, like everyone.
You
want to
go?
Michael Shannon, they were all
they were great,
incredible, and it definitely reminded me a lot of that chemistry in Clue, and like Fish Called Wanda also with Jamie Lee Curtis, where it's like
fantastic film.
Such a great cast, and it's just,
I wanted to see a little more of the family dynamic. The arguing and the fighting.
Yeah,
that's the only bad thing I'll say about this movie is I wanted to see so much more.
Right.
His family being rotten to each other.
Yeah,
I know.
So
like
terrible.
what we got of it is great, and I'd almost love to see like more sequels, possibly of like this family just getting fucked up in the future. I'll be honest, like just like as fun as this
different
movie
genres.
is, I would love to see like more of it because it works so well that they feel like very real people.
Oh, yeah.
But also the fact that the patriarch of the family is a mystery writer who makes a house based on his mystery books.
Yeah.
And even like the convoluted way the crime kind of happens is because of the people who are involved in like the making of these mystery novels. Like that's the way it works. Like the reason why there's so many like layers to it and why it seems like so roundabout and like you're trying to figure out who it is because these are people who want to live in a mystery novel, but they live in the real world. And it plays really well done as a dynamic.
Oh, that's cool. Good take. Yeah. Also directed by Rian Johnson.
Yes.
He didn't do
Looper.
Last Jedi.
Yeah. Which people hate, which I'm
wondering I'm wondering, will Star Wars fanboys forgive him for this?
No. Absolutely not.
This is like his best movie. I haven't really seen.
Oh, it's definitely his first like.
Looper was so
great.
Yeah,
like I didn't really have any problems with this film.
Yeah,
like a lot of his films, they were like I thought pretty much, most of his films that I've seen are great.
Yeah,
they just have like things that kind of like itch at me.
He doesn't. They're missing like one piece. They're missing one piece.
This I thought was the full picture.
It seems he doesn't really have a distinct style.
Yeah,
because he's skirting all these genres, and that's a great.
I hope
he's very versatile.
This is his thing.
Yeah,
and I saw someone mentioning how they'd like to see like Daniel Craig's character like have spin-offs, and like I'm like that would be incredible to see like more movies of his character in these types of situations.
Kind of like that that BBC show Perot.
It's based on Hercule Poirot, the Agatha Christie,
but more quirky and dark. I could see that.
Like I would love to see a resurgence of whodunits. Like as long as they're well done. They've kind of gone the way of like just cable television. Is like the procedural shows kind of take over that, but it doesn't have the same magnitude of like seeing it on screen of like people get to play these like over the top characters and the convoluted mystery when it's done well can be just a great time to watch.
Yeah, I mean a lot of times it is overdone. Like the acting is like too much. Yeah, I thought everyone in this movie like did the parts perfect.
Yeah, well they have to play that. Yeah, it's a perfect platform to be over the top and dramatic and funny. Yeah, and they all did very very well. So yeah, I mean I definitely want to see more whodunits because it's a fun genre. And we'll see. Maybe we will with this movie. Maybe this will pave the way for the new whodunit.
Yeah, I mean, also it kind of also reminded me like earlier this year, Ready or Not came out. Which I thought was so much fun. And that was about
that
a
was
family.
One of my favorite horror movies this year. It was just
a family like the
family of rich people who
patriarch ran a board game company. So it was like they were all about games.
So I think it seems like self-aware whodunits.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they'll do like this. Like these movies would do for whodunits what Scream did for slashers in the 90s.
Exactly.
You think it'll have that much of an impact?
Like a new wave of self-aware whodunits.
I love it.
I hope so. Like I would love to see that.
Different directors.
I'm glad we got two of them this year that I really enjoyed.
That's cool, guys. All right, so I guess it's pretty unanimous. We want to see it.
Yes,
we want you to see it, America.
I'm probably going to put this in my top 10 for the year.
Top 10 for the year for Mr. Bennett.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet, cool, guys. Yeah, well, is this breaking? Is this number one at the box office right now? Do we know?
I think Frozen 2. I think Frozen 2 is
Frozen 2. That came out
last week.
Actually came out. I think it came out a few days just before Knives Out.
Oh, did it? Okay.
It came out. Yes.
And Queen of Slim also. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah, because the Friday was Frozen 2.
It's a good week for movies.
It is a great week. Yeah, Thanksgiving. All right, guys. So let's move on. I just want to mention that The Irishman, the new Martin Scorsese film, epic crime drama, The Irishman, is now on Netflix. For whoever has Netflix, they can enjoy this wonderful film. It has the same cast as well, most of the cast from Casino and Goodfellas and Taxi Driver. It's a Scorsese film.
With Pacino.
Yeah. And basically,
And Ray Romano.
Yeah, there you go. And
Ray Romano.
And it talks about the tragic tale of union boss
Jimmy Hoffa,
played by Pacino. And it's got all the trappings of a typical Scorsese film, except it has Industrial Light and Magic supplying the CGI to make De Niro and Pacino and Pesci look younger through, like, is it motion capture? Is it the Avatar type?
Yeah, it might be like face replacement kind of stuff for some of the actors.
De-aging.
Yeah.
They did it in Looper, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Well, in Looper, they used, like, bad makeup.
I think they also do that with Will Smith and Gemini Man.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. So that's like the rage right now
Yeah.
is to make older actors look younger. And, you know, I love Scorsese's work since Mean Streets, basically, to this.
Yeah.
It's not his strongest film by
Definitely
any means.
not. I wouldn't even say it's in my top 10 Scorsese.
Yeah. Well,
but
I would. I'd put it low on there.
To me, it was like it was more like Scorsese's greatest hits than anything that can stand on its own.
True.
Yeah.
I did like, although while I was watching this movie on Thanksgiving, I did enjoy playing. Oh, hey, look, it's my neighborhood. Well, like recognizing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of like Hildebrand showed up and stuff like that.
Yeah, Hildebrand's. That's because I used to live in Williston Park, right around the corner from
Oh,
Hildebrand.
wow.
So
you recognize some of the locations.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah, my friends Vinny and Jake were filmmakers. They got to film like part of a scene there for a movie at Hildebrand's because they know the owner.
See, that's awesome.
So it's like great to see that show up as well. It's like them and Martin Scorsese, you know, is like in the same group.
And then there was like another like because I live in Mineola now, and there's a barbecue restaurant there that they used to double as a diner in Chicago. But as well as a few street scenes where I recognized the neighborhoods.
Nice. That's cool.
And my ex-wife is in it too.
Is she?
She's an extra in a scene in Hoffa's wife's office.
Oh my God!
Wow. So
this movie is very Long Island.
It's very Long Island.
I love that.
But don't worry, no Irishmen were harmed or even used in the movie.
Actually, funny you should say that because I was watching it with my parents, and my mom said that for a movie called The Irishman, this cast is very Italian.
Yeah,
right.
It's 100% Italian.
It's like an ironic name, you know?
Yeah, right.
That's what it is.
That's very
It's like
funny.
I mean, De Niro with blue eyes is kind of like silly, but
right, yeah. And he was Jewish in Casino.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then you've got Harvey Keitel, who's Jewish, playing an Italian.
Italian, exactly.
Scorsese likes
the
to
only
mix
guy
things
playing
up.
Italian in the movie is Keitel.
At his production meetings, he just has like all their pictures on the table, and he mixes it all up.
Who can I pretend Robert De Niro is for this movie while playing the same character from every other Scorsese movie?
That's right.
Yeah. This one, it was fun, it was enjoyable, but it felt like if I turn on the TV and I see Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci doing a scene in a Martin Scorsese movie, and it takes me like the couple seconds of like trying to figure out like which movie is this one. Like it feels like one of those where it's enjoyable for what it is, but it's like I didn't feel like it was anything too different from any of the other films I got
Plus
to
the
see.
duration, it's I think what
3.5 hours. 3.5
It's
hours.
just like if you could play Martin Scorsese films on a loop, you'd kind of forget where you are.
I actually watched Casino right after for the very first time in my life.
Oh, wow.
Really? Yeah. And I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Casino's classic.
Yeah, it was terrific. Also 3 hours long, but that kind of went by very smooth.
I mean, this movie, it is 3.5 hours. It doesn't really, until like the last 45 minutes, it does not seem that long.
Yeah.
So I watched it in the theater, and
you did?
And
there's no intermission with that.
There's no intermission.
They should bring that back.
It went by like pretty quick.
Did it? Okay.
It didn't feel long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's not too long, but it's like a very relaxed pace.
Yeah.
It's like a film like it was made for like Netflix like television, where like
It
it's
doesn't
not
have
trying
that
to
quality.
be loud or trying to like do any like big scenes as well.
Right.
When the violence hits, it's
It was
okay.
dialogue
But it
heavy.
just felt like it wants to just be a good like dialogue-driven film.
Yeah.
And it just plays on. It's
I
one to
love
watch.
all the dialogue between Pacino and De Niro.
Oh, yeah.
That dialogue, the banter between the two of them was great.
It's a little bit.
I would definitely say after. So obviously Godfather Part 2 they had they had no scenes together.
Right.
Heat, they only had the ending together.
Yeah.
And then but this definitely redeems their this definitely redeems them from Righteous Kill.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
That was
I
just
forgot about that movie.
Why would you remember that movie exists?
So wait, so Heat was the first time they were actually on screen
screen
together.
together,
Right.
yeah.
But just for one scene.
Right, in a diner or something like
At
that?
the end. I think it's the ending.
Yeah. And then Righteous Kill came
Yeah.
out. That was 2011 or so?
2008.
2008? Oh, God. Instantly forgettable.
Yeah. But this is actually, like, out of Pacino's recent. I mean,
Yeah.
even like decades long now. I think I enjoyed him more in this movie than I have in a long time.
More than the
I think
little
I'd say the same for
fuckers.
De Niro.
Are you saying you didn't like him in Jack and Jill?
He was in that.
Oh,
that was
Apparently he
Pacino.
was, yeah.
Pacino.
Dunkachino.
I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about Pacino. Did I say De Niro?
I think you did.
Oh, I meant Pacino.
Pacino was in the basketball.
Yeah, Dunkachino. Well, I mean, that might be his best performance ever. I changed my name to Duncan.
And he was also in a stage revival of Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yeah.
Where he played Shelley Levine.
Right.
Which I heard didn't go over too well because they wanted to see him as Ricky Roma.
Right, exactly.
But whatever. He's entitled to his choices. He's a legend. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Same with De Niro. I mean,
Yeah.
both of them. They have their critical acclaim, their money, and their awards.
Yeah.
So now they can just do. They have the freedom to do whatever. They
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing caricatures
Yeah,
of
of
themselves
themselves
for the last 20
for
years.
the last 20 years.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they have so much clout. I want to see them just go crazy with it. Just be like, we can do any goddamn movie we want. So just make the craziest movie
Like
we can.
a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but with the two of them.
I just want to see a Shakespearean film with them, like that cast.
waiting for
Shakespeare.
waiting for Godot with them.
right.
Oh man.
And or like now Joe Pesci, because Joe Pesci he hasn't done anything
He's
since.
semi-retired.
He hasn't been on screen in 20 years. I want to say
21 years
I didn't even
since
realize
Lethal
that
Weapon
was
4.
Lethal Weapon 4 was his last movie.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that was Pesci at first because he looks so much older. That,
Oh
like,
yeah,
I
the
had
last
gotten
time you
used
saw
to
him,
it, yeah.
right?
But then when he speaks, it's like, oh, you know it's him right
exactly.
away.
It was like, was it Casino?
I was like, wow, this guy does a great Joe Pesci impression.
And I don't know if you guys saw it on Netflix, but they had afterwards they had a 20-minute discussion.
Oh, no, I didn't see
with
that.
Scorsese, De Niro, Pacino.
Oh, I
I'll
didn't see that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I only
Go
got
back and
halfway
check
through
that
the
out.
movie before I had to come out here.
Yeah, no, they basically.
I'll watch the rest of it
Yeah,
later.
yeah, they're talking about the whole process of returning 24 years later, and the technology of making them look younger, and it was really enlightening, I must say. I love those like Q&A type stuff.
Yeah, that's great. That's cool. I gotta check that out.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, are you guys are you Scorsese heads? Are you like big in his filmography, Forrest?
I mean, I do like a good portion. I mean, there's some of his movies that I still haven't gotten around to, like
There's
I still need to get around to Gangs in New York and
That's a good one.
Bringing Out the Dead.
Oh yeah.
Those ones I haven't gotten around to, but the stuff like his stuff in the '70s, like Mean Streets, Taxi Driver.
Staples.
King of Comedy is like one of my
I
favorite
love
movies of all
it.
time.
I love it.
Actually, I saw actually to prepare for Joker, I went back and watched King of Comedy.
Oh yeah, I mean Joker. I was like, cool. He took Taxi Driver and King of Comedy, made it one movie.
And De Niro's in it too.
Yeah.
Raging Bull's
Raging Bull, yeah.
Raging Bull would be one of my
in
top
there.
5 sports movies of all time.
I'm like, I don't really care for boxing movies or sports movies in general, but
it's just,
I love Raging
It's
Bull.
a work of art. Like,
It is-
the
it is
sound
a
design, the
beautiful,
music,
beautiful
the
film.
editing is.
And I also,
acting.
and of course, Goodfellas
Goodfellas,
Casino,
yeah.
and Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah.
I'd say Goodfellas. That's probably his
Masterpiece.
arguably his best movie.
Yeah.
And it was totally robbed by Kevin Costner.
Yeah. and this is probably not going to be a popular opinion, but I mean, I like The Departed, but I feel like that was kind of I don't feel like it was one of his greatest works.
No.
And I feel like the Academy gave that one Best Picture as like an apology for
I agree.
robbing
And
him on
everyone in
Wholeheartedly
that
agree.
movie is Irish. No, most of that cast is Irish.
Well, he'll get a
which is hysterical
Well,
because they're all playing Italians. No, I'm just kidding.
it's topsy turvy. He's going to get a nomination for this. I'm pretty sure.
Departed is not one of the strongest movies, but I feel like it definitely deserved winning just for having Mark Wahlberg's terrible Boston accent alone. Like
Yeah.
giving that to the
Oh,
world.
yeah.
He
He
was
was
I'm pretty sure that's
that.
exactly. Unlike because a good chunk of that cast was actually from New York, whereas Wahlberg and Damon were the only actual Bostonians in the movie.
And
I love anytime you put a Bostonian in a movie, you get the worst Boston accents. Like Gone Girl. No, not Gone Girl. What's the Ben Affleck?
Art,
Gone
not
Baby
Argo.
Gone.
The Town.
The Town.
Gone Baby
too.
Gone.
Oh.
And
And
that
yeah,
too.
Gone Baby Gone.
Yeah.
Casey Affleck's Boston accent. Dude's from Boston. Has the worst Boston accent I've ever heard in my life.
And Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah.
He also played it up
Yeah.
a bit too. Yeah.
Oh my! It's like so Simpson-y cartoonish. You're like really? Like, did you forget how you sound? Like,
I guess that's what the director
Yeah.
wants. That's his vision for Boston.
chowder. Say it,
I was about
Frenchie.
to say, that's my favorite joke for The Simpsons. It's like, say chowder.
Chowder. Chowder. Say it, Frenchie.
Chowder.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Pothole.
Well, this is on my top 10, I'd say. Yeah, it's very low.
Yeah.
But it's there. You know, because just the production value
Right.
alone.
Yeah.
The acting is sensational, and it looks like it's the mid '70s, early to mid '70s. And I was impressed by that. So you don't get that type of production value in a lot of movies these days, which is sad. Yeah. But anyway, how much time do we have? We have some time. All right, guys. So see it, right? No.
I'd say see it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on Netflix.
Right.
You
It's on
might
Netflix,
as
you can
well.
watch it.
It's there. And if you want to see it on the big screen, I'm sure it's
Yeah, it's still playing at the Cinema Arts Center.
IFC Center in the city.
But I would say if
It's
you
still playing
have the
there?
option between seeing it in the cinema and seeing it on Netflix, I'd say Netflix.
So you can
Yeah.
pause it to go to the
Like
bathroom.
me,
Yeah,
like
right.
yeah, I had to take a couple breaks during this movie because it
Yeah.
felt like I'm watching a TV show. It's good, it's engrossing, but every now and then I just need to pause it.
It,
because
it,
something
it
else.
feels like an HBO show.
It does
I mean,
feel-
it did have half the cast from Vinyl and
Sopranos.
Boardwalk Empire.
Boardwalk Empire in it. So
Yeah, Bobby Cannavale.
yeah,
And I'm sure
so both of them,
a lot
both
of
those shows.
a lot of the cast was in The Sopranos too. I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Well, yeah, because there's only like 7 Italian actors in the whole world.
Although it was missing, who was it? Vincent Pastore and and Chaz Palminteri.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that would have been good if he was.
Yeah, where was Chaz? Come on, Chaz. He was too busy playing at the Paramount.
Yeah, what is he? Like
He,
stand-up?
he does
A one-man show.
he does a one-man show of Bronx Tale.
Okay. Well, he wrote that, right?
Yeah,
Or it was inspired by
and
his life.
and he does a one-man performance of it, which is
Have you
definitely
seen it?
something I have to see. I have not seen it.
I've heard great things about it.
It's
I'll be
like
honest.
he does it down
he's
the
a
street
great
from me.
actor.
I
Yeah,
need
he
to
is.
go see it. I can walk there. It's 10 minutes away from my house.
He was great. You know, he's a great actor and everything.
Oh yeah, no, he's great.
Usual Suspects is another tough
Yeah, oh,
guy
yeah. Yes.
movie. So guys, we got a few minutes left, and I know that the year is coming to a close. One more month. I want to just go around. What are some of our other films, other than The Irishman, other than Queen and Slim, other than Knives Out? What's on our list so far of top 10 best movies of the year?
Top 10?
Yes,
I just
sir.
saw The Lighthouse. Was
Okay.
Such a weird
Yeah.
and fun movie.
Pattinson and
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Oh,
Oh,
Willem
my
Dafoe
God.
and Robert Pattinson
Yeah.
get to play with the thickest New England accents I've ever heard. And I
And, like, old-timey.
I need to buy this movie when it comes out.
wait, what
because
year? What time period is
It take was
It's like 1900s,
early
like 1908s.
1900s.
And they play partners.
They're lighthouse
at
keepers.
keepers.
They
Yeah.
play lighthouse keepers
Like
stuck on an
Pattinson's
island.
like trainee. He's like a trainee.
So here's what you do.
Literally, they're just like on an island in the middle of the ocean and a lighthouse. And then when a big storm hits, they can't get released, so they're just stuck there.
Okay.
And they just kind of start going insane.
Yeah.
It's not
In the
black
best
and white.
way.
'cause
It
the-
is. It is black and white.
It's black
Okay.
and white.
And
I
it's
like it.
shot like it's not full screen. It's like
Yeah.
it's filmed almost like it came out in that time, like it's
Yeah,
a 1920s
that's cool.
film. But it gets to have all the swearing we do today. It gets to have violence. It has like the best fantasy imagery.
So it's
going
an
into it.
overall good,
Oh, yeah.
well produced,
It's one of
well
the
acted.
best
incredible.
Lovecraft horror movies I've ever
Yeah,
seen. I'll
it's
say it
hard.
like that.
Okay, it's
Because
on my
it's
list.
just like they're able to start
to
going
watch.
insane,
Yeah.
and like the dream sequences are so well done.
Is it direct? Is it made by anyone notable or?
I can't remember.
It's the
who
director of The
is.
Witch. I can't
Oh
remember.
yeah, The Witch.
I can't remember the name. But
Is that one? Is that The Witch? That was like one of those haunted house movies.
No,
It
no,
was-
it's a slow burn.
it's
It was
a, yeah,
It was
it's
like
a slow
the
burn,
1600s.
old timey,
Yeah.
Actually, in the Witch, I would
like
probably
pilgrim horror movie.
Okay.
Puritans.
Puritans, yeah.
I would probably put The Witch as one of my favorite movies of the decade.
That's,
Yeah,
it's
that's
alright.
a great one too.
Let's see how.
But yeah, this one's definitely worth watching, and I need to rewatch it just because it has
Eggers. Yeah, Robert Eggers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Willem Dafoe gives one of the best 3-minute monologues I've
Oh,
ever heard.
my God.
Where him and Robert Pattinson are drunk because they have to be drunk to not try and kill each other. And Robert Pattinson's just like, oh, your cooking's terrible.
I like it.
And he's just so hurt. And he's like, you like my cooking? And he's like, no, I wish we could do
You
something
like
else."
my lobster? Say you like my
And
lobster!
he gets up and he says, I wish you were dragged to the bottom of
Yeah.
the sea by Poseidon himself for crustaceans to gnaw on your flesh for the rest of your life. Like, and it's almost 2-3 minutes of
It's
just
so
him giving
great. It's so
the
great.
greatest directed curse at a
Oh.
character
Sounds like a very
I've ever heard.
oddball film.
Oh, it is.
I love it.
Weird.
It's so
But
oddball
it's
and weird.
amazing.
But it's so enjoyable.
Yeah.
All right, so this is on your list.
It's on my list.
Definitely on
I
mine.
definitely say
Is
watch
it number one?
It's not number one, but it's up there. It
Okay.
like might be top 3 just for how enjoyable it was in the film. Of seeing like what's happening with like Robert Pattinson in a grudge match with a seagull who keeps taunting
Yeah,
him,
oh.
and him just like cursing at a seagull.
Oh.
And it's so unexpected for how this movie ends up going.
All right.
It's
Yeah.
so well done.
What are the other two? Top three.
The other two? I have Parasite is up there as well.
Really? Okay.
Was a Korean film, was very well done.
Okay.
It's hard to think like what was my number one this year,
Oh.
because there was a lot of good movies.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, top three. If you...
All right, I mean, well, I definitely Lighthouse and Parasite are up there for me.
Nice.
Midsommar.
That's number one.
I didn't get to see that one.
It may be.
Yes.
It's in my top three. at least.
Interesting.
And then for me, Midsummer is probably one of my candidates for number one for the number one spot.
I saw it in the theater twice. I went to see the director's cut when that came
I
out.
still haven't seen the director's
It's not
cut.
too disturbing, too freaky.
I
very
mean,
disturbing.
it's disturbing, but like I like that stuff.
Yes, that's my more my alley.
Yeah.
I know you're a horror buff.
Yeah,
I wanna see it
I'm
really
actually wearing
bad.
this shirt because just
How that's the return, right?
well, that was the poster art for Halloween 4,
Halloween
but I decided to wear this today because we were discussing a Jamie Lee Curtis movie involving
right.
knives.
Very nice,
There
very
we
nice.
go.
But
Yeah.
as a horror fanatic, Midsummer and Us are probably my
Yeah,
candidates
yeah.
for
Yeah.
favorite movie
Yeah,
of the
House
year.
was up there.
I say it pretty much every week, but for me, the Peanut Butter Falcon.
That's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God!
that's a great one.
It was heartbreaking. It was funny. It was exciting.
It was sweet.
Yeah, it was very sweet between Shia LaBeouf and the young guy with Down syndrome. Wonderful actor, actually. So that's on the list. Actually, Cat in the Moon. I went to the red carpet.
That I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, it's really, really well. Because the writer, producer, star, he helped with the music. He's like 21. Nat Wolff or Alex. One of the wolves.
One of the
One of the wolves. And it was just a very impressive first feature for him.
Nice.
But Peanut Butter Falcon's number one for me.
That's good. Pain and Glory also was excellent.
That's with Antonio, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pedro Almodovar.
Sweet.
New film. That was. It's like one of those things where like I didn't expect a lot from it, and it really paid off.
Yeah.
It's basically. It's kind of like he made a movie about himself, where like Banderas' character is like an aging director,
Nice.
who's kind of like coming to terms with like his old age and stuff.
Okay.
It's just like really, really well done.
Not a huge Banderas fan, but I will.
Me neither.
I want to check it out.
Me neither.
eventually.
I actually used to hate Banderas films. I used to
Really?
Well,
I was never a fan.
You didn't like the mariachi movies?
And Assassins.
Except when it was with Pedro Almodovar. Yeah,
Guys, I'm so-
like that kind of that style. Like I like that stuff, but like his American films are the ones I didn't really like. care
Okay.
All right, guys, we have 1 minute left. Really quick plugs. CJ.
I got nothing.
for. No, it's real hair. It's all real hair. No.
How dare you call me out like that?
No.
Jerk.
What's it called? Cafe.
Call Cafe. We don't have anything this weekend, but Retro Picture Show's got Black Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night. That's Saturday night, and then the following Saturday night, Cult Cafe is back. But we're also back on Friday the 13th as well with the F13th, the Friday the 13th fan film mixtape. It's Alamo put together. It's a compilation of different fan films of Friday the 13th from the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
I'll be there for that.
Yes, so that should be fun. And then we're doing Steven Spielberg's underrated classic, 1941.
You know, I've never seen.
on the 14th.
That's a good film.
I'm a huge
That was a
Spielberg
fun
fan,
one.
but I've never seen it.
I remember like watching it a couple times. I thought it would be like Animal House during World War II, and but I felt I felt like it went on too long and needed more John Belushi.
That's one of those movies where the ensemble cast, they're not in it together.
Okay.
Which kind of weakens it.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a movie I love.
Nice.
It's okay.
I might
kinda
go to there
prefer
for that.
The Russians are coming. The Russians are coming. I take that over 1940.
True. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Fars, any plugs for you?
I'm looking forward to seeing Frozen 2 this week.
Frozen 2? Okay.
as well as so next Saturday, three of my favorite Christmas movies are playing. Because I'll be at that Silent Night, Deadly Night, Black Christmas double feature, and then earlier in the day I'll be going to a 35th anniversary screening of Gremlins.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
excellent.
I'm gonna go to that too. In,
Wait, where is that
Limerick
again?
Theater.
At the Regal in Westbury.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
nice,
playing it
nice.
in Limbrook Regal.
Yeah, it's playing a
I'm gonna
couple
see that
theaters.
one.
I think I have something that day, but yeah, we'll talk after the show. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much. This was great as always. Love to have you and your wonderful insights on film.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
And
Thank you,
all the
as
movies
always.
we're gonna see, we're gonna get reimbursed, right?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Just see
Right?
the cashier; she'll help you. And guys, I didn't mention it at the beginning, but hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, watching at home. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll be back next Sunday with more film reviews and interviews. Under the Radar, I'm your host, Randy Unger. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Under the Radar is all new next week with more movie reviews and interviews on Strong Island radio and television. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week.